Hey aspiring author, Izzy B here, children's book author and illustrator, and today we're gonna talk about 5 things to avoid when writing your first children's book. So these 5 mistakes are really big ones, but just like anything else with writing, it comes with practice. You're gonna really wanna listen to all 5, and number 5 is my big one, so you're gonna wanna stay tuned so you hear all of them. Number 1 is something we talk about all the time in writing, but I'm constantly seeing it when people send me their manuscript. It's to show and not tell. You need to have action. Your story should be showing what's happening and not you telling the reader what's happening. You should be using way more verbs than adverbs. For example, instead of saying, Judy doesn't like mushrooms, you should say, Judy's nose scrunched up as mom put her plate on the table. See how that shows that Judy doesn't like them because of her facial expression? These are important when doing show and not tell.
It's like really big chopsticks.
Mistake number 2 is a big one, and new writers make it all the time. You know how I know? Because you're looking at one of the biggest culprits of it myself. Why? When we first start out writing, we think we need to impress people by being eloquent and detailed and have tons of descriptions. And to be super, super duper good at writing, we have to describe a tree in perfect detail down to the finest little cracks in the bark. Or her hair blew in the wind, and we have to describe it perfect. No, don't do that. This is a children's book. You're not Tolkien. You don't need to have a whole paragraph to describe someone blowing their nose. You have to keep it simple. You have to keep it precise. You don't need to describe the setting. You don't need to describe the weather. You don't need to describe a character in detail. Those things can be done in the illustration. It's your job to keep it focused on the story. You only have 500 words. So make sure every word counts. That's actually the hard part of writing children's books. You have to take what some people do in 30,000 words, and you have to do it in 500, and it has to be good.
How are you doing? Are you basketball?
I can't spin it up.
But you can spin a book.
Number 3, using age-appropriate vocabulary. This is a hard one. I even struggle with this now. Why? Because it's okay to use big words in your story. You want words that challenge kids. You want them to not know what a word means, so they have to think about it by using the words around it. It's called context. Or they might have to look it up, which is great too, because that helps the kid learn. But you don't want to have too many of those words because you'll lose your reader. You have to find a fine balance of making sure that you have some more difficult words, higher vocabulary, some middle ground vocabulary. You also want those sight words to be the most of your book so that kids can have a nice flow. Something I use, a great resource, is called the Word Book. And I'll actually put a link to that book in the description so that you could find it. This book is great because it could take a really hard word and show you where that word is with the age-appropriate reader that you are focusing on. Let's say you're writing a book for 2nd graders and you have the word, some crazy big word like Constitution. Well, you can actually go into the word book and see what level of word that word is and what age that's appropriate for. And then it gives you other options based on age. It's a pretty cool book, so you should check it out.
I'm parched.
Number 4 is not having page turners in your book. What's a page turner, you ask? Well, I'll tell you, the only reason I know what a page turner is because I worked with HarperCollins Publishing, and they literally took time to make sure I knew how to have page turners in my story. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you the book that I worked with HarperCollins Publishing and give you an exact example of what that looks like. The book was called Count Spatula, and we never actually made the book with HarperCollins, but this is an actual example of something we worked on. If you look in the story, right here, it says, "Oh no, the beast began to taste her face, and Olivia May ... That is a page turner. what does it do? It adds intrigue and it makes the reader want to turn the page. You can even have page turners in your illustration. I have a dog in mid-jump. What's that dog gonna do? The reader won't know. They need to make sure they turn the page to find out. A page turner is a transition. Just like you'd have in a movie, just like you'd have at the end of an episode of that show you've been binge watching, staying up all night, and then they get to the end, and what happens? You have to watch the next one to find out. And now you're up even later. That's a page turner. I turn the page and it says, Olivia May giggled? I made sure that the kid knows there's a resolution. But that is a page turner. It's what is in the book that makes you want to turn the page. It's very important. Throw it in.
Just go like one.
One, and we move to two. We move to three. And we move to four, and I'm back to one. That's how. Right, we are ready for our last big mistake. But before I get to that, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be making more and more videos like this for you. I wanted to make videos that I wish I had when I first started out as an author 6 years ago. And I can give you a whole wealth of knowledge that I've learned through the School of Hard Knocks along the way in these videos. It's going to be great. So make sure that you subscribe so you can keep up to date. All right, here it is. This is the big mistake that I see in almost every single manuscript that someone sends me when I'm illustrating a book for them. And this is it. They forget the illustrator. Most authors forget that an illustrator's job is to visually tell the story. As an illustrator myself, I will read through a manuscript and I can't tell you how many times I take my red pen and I mark things that I will do as an illustrator. As an author, you need to think like an illustrator. Sometimes it's okay to storyboard your book, to actually put it into scenes and think, how would I make this book visually? How would I tell this story visually? Because a picture book is visual. So when you are writing your book, make sure that you don't include things that could be told by the illustrator. It's all about keeping it simple. But if you're describing her blue eyes and you're describing the nail polish color she has, remember, that's my job. I can do that. So keep it simple and also remember to include your illustrator. It's also great to include illustration marks in your manuscript too, so that you can show that you know this. That usually is how I can tell someone who's done their research and someone who's just starting out. All right, I hope these tips helped you, but here's something I need from you. If you have any questions at all, and I mean any at all, put them in the comments below. If it's a question I can answer right now, I will. I guarantee that. If it's a question that's a big question, I may even make a video of it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope it helps you. Remember, I'm going to be coming out with a lot more, so stay tuned for more videos and tips from children's book author and illustrator, IzzyB. That was pretty good. I felt good. Energy, energy, energy.